Hi guys, welcome back to Next to SamDjanShow. Turn to who is the king of Nickelodeon. Let's get into it. No, back to Next to SamDjanShow. Turn to who was the king of Nickelodeon. Boy, they don't get subscribed for catch most arguments. So I did do who was the king of Disney Channel last week. So today I'm doing Nickelodeon. This one I don't think has as much. So I'm gonna go through these. I don't think it'll be as long as the Disney Channel one. So let's go to the first candidate. The first one is Kenan Thompson. Now Kenan Thompson, he had a big part in Nickelodeon. He's also the longest member. He's also the longest member on SNL. So obviously you probably know him. He's good at comedy and he has good comedic timing. And so at Nickelodeon, he did all that from I think 1994 to 1999. And also he did Kenan and Kel, which he co-starred with Kel Mitchell. And also he did Good Burger, and he did Good Burger 2. So and he did make then guest appearances, I think, in all that from 2005, I think 2019 to 2020 and 2002. But yeah, yeah, Keenan, I think, is a big candidate. I think he contributed a lot to Nickelodeon. So yeah, let's get into his co-star. So we have Kel Mitchell. Kel Mitchell was in all that. He was in Keenan and Kel, Good Burger and Good Burger 2, and he was in Game Shakers. So he did have another show. So a lot of people know who Kel is. Even the new generation, the old generation, they know who Kel Mitchell is. Now I'm going to go to one that I think a lot of you've not heard of, and that is Josh Server. You're probably thinking, who is Josh Server? Now Josh Server was in all that from the first 6 seasons from 1994 the way to 2000. He was in all 6 seasons, even though he never had a show of his own. He did have a big he was a big part of the original all that, and he was also in Figure It Out. He was also in I think he made guest appearance. I think in the two Good Burger movies. I think he's made a lot of guest appearances. But Josh Silver is not. I don't consider him a part of. I don't think he's part of it. But yeah, I decided to just give him a mention because of what he contributed to Nickelodeon. Next we have Nick Cannon. Now Nick Cannon wasn't all that, and then he did have the Nick Cannon show, and he did do other things. So um, but the Nick Cannon show only lasted 1 season, so I don't think Nick Cannon is the king of Nickelodeon. Next we have Romeo Miller. Now he only did the Romeo show, and which obviously I didn't grow up with this show, but I think that's what he did with Nickelodeon. I think he did have guest appearances. And I was going to one who I think is a big candidate on the King Nickelodeon, Drake Bell. Now Drake Bell was in the Amanda Show. He stayed from the whole show from 1999 to 2002. He was in all 3 seasons. He was, I think, pretty much most of the sketches alongside Amanda Bynes. He was in Double Dare. No, not the new one, the original. I think the 2020 Double Dare. This is the new one. It's not the original. And then he played Drake Parker in Drake and Josh, which I like. Drake and Josh is I think it's probably one of my favorite shows. I think it's my favorite Dan Schneider show. I do like Drake and Josh. I love this. I love this show. It's part of my childhood. I really love this show. And also, he did have a part in the Drake and Josh video games, and he did Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood, Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, A Fairly Odd Movie, Grow Up, Timmy Turner, A Fairly Odd Christmas, and A Fairly Odd Summer. Now, Josh Peck, he did promotions for Snow Day on I think All That and I think Double Dare. And then obviously he was in Amanda Show. Now he came in season 2, and from season 2 all the way to the end. So obviously, then he starred in Drake and Josh. He played Josh Nichols, and he did the video games America's Drake and Josh, and then Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood, and he was in the iCarly revival. So yeah, next we have Devon Werkheiser. Now he played Ned Bigby in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I love this show; it's so underrated. It always got overshadowed by Dan Shine shows. Obviously, the cast have done a podcast, and a lot of people just don't really like talk about it because of the cast, the podcast they did, and then he did Shredder Man Rules, and that's it. He didn't do anything else in Nickelodeon. Now we have Lil JJ. Now all he did was Just Jordan. I don't think he did anything else. I think he did other guest stars. But next we have Nat and Alex Wolf. All they did was the Naked Brothers band. That's all they did. They didn't do anything else. Next we have Jerry Trainer. Now Jerry Trainer, he played Crazy Steve and Drake and Josh, and before he was in iCarly. He played Spencer Shay, and he did reprise the role in the iCarly revival. He was also the voice of Tough Puppy. He also did Best Player, and then he did Wonder Vinny, and he did Snow Day from 2022. Nathan Kress, he only did iCarly, and then he also did a revival. I think, he did have guest appearances in Sam and Cat, where he reprised the role of Freddy, and I think he was in Game Shakers. I think he did others. No, but now we have Big Time Rush. I think Big Time Rush, I'm only going to look at them as a group. I think they did How to Rock as well, and they also did a Big Time movie, which is kind of like the Beatles. Now we're on Leon Thomas Third. Now he did Just for Kicks, where he did Victorious. He played Andre Harris, which I do like Andre. I kind of wish Andre did a bit more. I think he was extremely talented, and I also have Evan Jogia. He was in Rags. Then he played back in Victorious. And I also have Lucas Cruikshank. Now Lucas Cruikshank, he was in Now he played Fred on YouTube, and he did have a guest role in iCarly where he played Fred. Now he did Fred the movie, Fred 2 Life of the Living Fred, Fred Free Camp Fred, Fred the Show, and then he did Marvin Marvin. Next we have Jack Griffo. Jack Griffo, he did The Thundermans, Returned, Thundermans Undercover. He was in Jinxed, and then he was in Splitting Adam. And then the last one I have is Jason Norman. Now he did I think he was in Jinx. No, he wasn't. He did Henry Danger, The Adventures of Henry Danger, Danger Force, the Henry Danger movie, and he did do Rufus and Rufus 2. They did around Nickelodeon, and then he did do Splitting Adam. So who do I think the king of Nickelodeon is? The winner is Kel Mitchell. I think Kel Mitchell. I think what he accomplished in the 90s, all that, Keenan and Kel, and the fact that a new generation know him from Game Shakers. And Kel did do a lot of things for Nickelodeon. And yeah, so the winner is Kel Mitchell. So guys, I want to try videos. My next one.